Hey guys, my name's Joey. I just found out my wife has been very deceitful. And guess what? It was with the neighbor. So I'm not just going to break up with her and move on with my life like I should, like some of the people in the comment section told me to do. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that I absolutely ruin their way of life, and I'm going to drag both of them down with me and make them understand the amount of pain that I felt from them, and you're going to be a witness of it. Hey guys, I'm Joey. I'm a 38-year-old guy who, thought he had it all figured out. I met my wife, Mandy. It was on a dating app about 10 years ago. We hit it off immediately. It was like a fairy tale romance. We fell head over heels in love, got married, bought a house, and had a beautiful baby boy named Liam. Mandy decided to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was more than happy to support our family. You see, I work as a software engineer, and my job has always been stable, so we never had to worry about money. For years, I thought we had the perfect life. We had our ups and downs, sure, like any couple does, but always believed that our love was strong enough to weather any storm. Mandy was my best friend, my confidant, and my partner in everything. We had a great social life as well. We'd often have barbecue with our neighbors and go on double dates with other couple friends. Mikey and his wife Jessica were always fun to hang out with, and our kids played together all of the time. So let's fast forward to last week, when everything came crashing down. Mikey's always asking to borrow tools from me, and he's a bit of a handyman, and loves working on projects around the house. So when I saw a voicemail from him on Mandy's phone, I didn't think much of it. But something felt off. Mandy's been acting a little distant lately, and she'd been spending more times than usual on her phone. I had a gut feeling that something wasn't right. When Mandy was in the shower, I listened to the voicemail, and when I heard something that made my blood run cold, it was basically a love message from Mikey, talking about how amazing their night together was and how they could not wait to see each other again. He mentioned specific details about her body and the things that they've done together. I felt like I was going to throw up. I was stunned. Mandy had told me she was at her weekly yoga class that night. You know, she's been going to yoga for years now, and I never had any reason to doubt her. But now everything started to make sense. The late nights, the secretive phone calls, the way she's been pulling away from me. I felt like I could not breathe. I wanted to confront her right then and there, but I knew that I needed proof. So I pretended everything was normal and waited for her next yoga night. I kissed her goodbye like always and told her to have a good time. As soon as she left, I walked straight into Mikey's house, not even bothering to knock on the door. You see, I had a key because I'd helped him install a new lock just a few months ago. And there they were, naked, on the couch, going at it like a couple of teenage rabbits. Mandy was straddling him, and he had his hands all over her. They were so caught up in the moment, they didn't even notice me at first. When Mandy finally saw me, she screamed and tried to cover herself with a pillow. Mikey just sat there with a stupid grin on his face, and I don't know, I saw red. I don't remember much of what happened next, but I do remember punching Mikey square in the face. He fought back, and we ended up rolling around on the floor, knocking over furniture, breaking vases. Mandy was screaming at us to stop it, but I barely heard her. I don't know, I just kept hitting him, over and over until I felt something pulling me off of him. It was the police. The neighbors, they must have called when they heard the commotion. So Mikey and I were both handcuffed and taken to the station. Mandy came to bail me out a few hours later, but I could not even look at her. I told her I want a divorce and that I would be fighting for full custody of Liam. At this point, she starts to cry and even begs me to forgive her, saying it was a mistake and that she loved me, but how could I ever trust her again? I'm staying with my brother now, trying to figure out my next steps. I've always been the type of guy who puts his family first, and now I feel like I failed as a husband and father. I keep thinking about Liam and how this is going to affect him. He's only 5 years of age, and he adores his mommy. How am I going to explain this to him? I mean, how will this even impact his life? I'm also worried about the legal battle ahead. See, Mandy has not worked in years, and I've been the sole provider of the family, the breadwinner. I know she's going to fight me for custody and probably try to take me for everything that I'm worth.
But I can't let her get away with this. I can't let her have primary custody of my son after what she's done. Anyways, I'm just so lost. I never thought I would be in this situation. I feel like my entire life has been a lie, and I'm angry, I'm heartbroken, and I'm scared about what the future holds. I know I need to lawyer up and start the divorce proceedings, but I'm dreading the thought of a long drawn-out battle. Has anybody else been through something like this? I mean, how did you cope with the betrayal and heartbreak? How did you protect your kids and your assets? Did you feel like you could trust anyone again? Any advice or words of encouragement would be greatly appreciated. I will keep you updated on how this unfolds. Thank you guys for reading and for any support you can offer. I know I have a long road ahead of me, but I'm determined to come out stronger on the other side. What's up, everybody? Guys, I'm going to tell you right now. If you think that this story started off strong, you have seen nothing yet, because the updates are absolutely insane. Guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, take a second, hit that subscribe button. Only about 20% of viewers are subscribed to the channel, so it would help out a lot if you click that button. Thank you for that, and let's jump into this action-packed update. Hey, it's Joey again. I never thought I'd be back with an update so soon, but my life has taken on an even more devastating turn since my last post. First, the bad news keeps piling up. Mikey, the neighbor who's been sleeping with my wife, well, he's suing me for punching him and breaking into his home. I know I shouldn't have resorted to violence, but I was just so angry and hurt in the moment. So now I'm facing legal consequences on top of everything else, and I've been staying at the Airbnb since the incident. Thankfully, as the breadwinner making $200,000 a year, money isn't really my concern. But it's still a tough situation to be in, especially being away from my son. Meanwhile, my wife Mandy seems to be in complete denial. She's still living in our house, pretending like nothing happened, and taking our kid to and from school as if everything is normal. Well, guess what? I sent her divorce papers, but she's refusing to sign them until we talk. So I agreed to meet with her, hoping to get some closure and move forward with the divorce. But the conversation, it took a shocking turn. Mandy said something that sent a chill down my spine. She claims it's impossible for me to get full custody because I'm not even Liam's dad. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mandy said that Mikey is actually Liam's father and that their affair's been going on for years. Well, I was devastated. The idea that my son, the child I've raised for the love of 5 years, might not be mine. It was too much to hear. I didn't want to believe her, so obviously I demand a DNA test. But because the ongoing divorce proceedings are going on, I knew it could take weeks to get one through the court. I could not wait that long, so I did something I'm not very proud of. I went behind Mandy's back, picked up Liam from school, and we got that DNA test done on our own. When the results came back, my world was shattered. The test confirmed that I am not Liam's dad. I was in shock. I felt like my entire life has been nothing but a lie. I mean, the betrayal, the pain, the anger, it all came rushing back, even stronger than before. In a moment of rage, I grabbed a bat and I ran to Mikey's house, intent on making him pay for what he's done, but luckily, he wasn't home. As I stood there, seething with anger, a police officer who just happened to be passing by noticed me stopped, and he talked to me. The officer could see that I was in a very bad mental place. He listened to the story I told him and offered some words of advice on how to handle the situation legally. He even suggested some ways to get back at Mandy for her betrayal, but he also reminded me that resorting to violence would only make things worse in the long run for me. That conversation with the officer, it was the wake-up call I needed. I realized that I need to be smart about this for my sake and for Liam's. I can't let my anger and pain consume me no matter how much I want revenge. So now I'm trying to focus on the legal battle ahead. I know it's going to be messy, especially with the paternity issue, but I'm determined to fight for my rights and for what's best for Liam. Even if he's not my biological boy, I'm the only father he's ever known, and I love him more than everything. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's Joey again with another update on my ongoing saga. A lot's happened since my first post, and I've been on an emotional ride. First, I decided to leave the Airbnb and buy another house in the area. I needed a more permanent place to stay, and I wanted to create a stable environment for my son Liam, even though I did not have custody yet. Well, in some good news, I won the court case against Mikey for assaulting him and breaking into his house. However, the victory was bittersweet because the custody battle did not go in my favor. Despite the DNA testing proving that I'm not Liam's father, the court still granted primary custody to my ex-wife Mandy. Well, I was devastated. I broke down in tears, feeling like the system had failed me and my son. Wow, but I refused to give up. I vowed to make Mandy's life miserable and ruin Mikey's life for what they've done to me. I know it's not the healthiest mindset, but I was consumed by anger and a desire for revenge. So I found out that Mandy was living in a very nice apartment in the middle of the city, using the money from the $7,200 payment of child supports each month. She was receiving that from me. It infuriated me that she was living so comfortably after destroying our family. So I came up with a plan. I knew Mandy was often away shopping and spending my money, and I discovered that she was using an electronic lock on her apartment. Well, I guessed the code. It was easy. It's the same one that we used at our lock at our old house, and, when we were married. She had not even bothered to change it, that fool. I let myself into her apartment and found her workout drinks. So I mixed something inside that I knew would cause her to fail a drug test. I won't tell you what I mixed inside because it's not really important. I waited until she began taking the drink for a few days, then I might have made a phone call to the court and maybe CPS that I suspected Mandy was on drugs. So an investigation was opened and Mandy was issued a mandatory drug test from the court, which she failed. The court immediately took Liam away from her and granted me full custody. Well, obviously, this makes Mandy devastated. Now, not really because she lost Liam, but also because she no longer is going to receive the child support. She had to find another way to support herself. Unsurprisingly, she turned to Mikey for help. Guys, he actually let her stay at his house while she attends mandatory drug rehabilitation meetings for the next 6 months. Only she can apply for custody again after the 6 months. I know it was a dirty trick, but I can't help but feel a satisfaction. Mandy and Mikey, they destroyed my life, and now they're facing some consequences. Well, I'm not sure really what my next move will be, but I won't rest until I feel the justice that I need has been served. I know that many of you may not agree with what I've done, and I understand that. I'm not proud of stooping to their level, but I felt like I had no other choice. I was backed into a corner and had to fight dirty to protect my son and my own well-being. So, I want to thank everybody who's offered support and advice throughout this update. Your words have meant the world to me, you don't even know it. I'll keep you updated as things progress, but for now I'm just focusing on being the best father I can to Liam. Final updates. Well, after winning full custody of Liam, I thought I could breathe a sigh of relief. But then I found out that my ex-wife Mandy was still seeing Mikey and even living with him. So, obviously, I'm starting to worry. She's just going to bide her time for the required 6 months of rehab, get clean, and then fight for custody again. I couldn't bear the thought of going back to square one and just straight up losing Liam and all my hard-earned money. I knew I had to do something to make sure that did not happen. That's when I set my sight on Mikey. Well, guys, I knew that he had a good job, which was essential for the maintaining of his lifestyle in our wealthy neighborhood. You see, where we live, every single house cost at least $1.2 million. So I did some digging on LinkedIn, and I found the information I needed about Mikey's work. His life, his boss's name, the company's address, the phone number, everything. Well, this is not what I'm proud of, but I put my plan into action. I created a fake Facebook account and a fake Instagram using Mikey's photos. Well, this worked out perfectly because Mikey did not even have his own Instagram. I added all his friends and family and posted normal content for a few days, just trying to act like the real Mikey. Once I had enough followers to look, legit, I started posting these horrible comments, talking trash about his company, certain communities in the area, and making all sorts of offensive, harmful remarks. I kept at it until I had enough evidence to send to Mikey's boss. Wow, I compiled all the screenshots of the fake Instagram conversations and emailed them to Mikey's boss. From a newly created email account, of course. I wasn't sure if it would work, but later that day, I saw Mikey coming home from work 4 hours early. Well, long story short, I later found out that Mikey did not get fired, but he did get suspended. He had to explain the whole situation with me and Mandy to his boss. I'd say lucky for him, his boss is very understanding of a man, but demanding that Mikey removes himself from the drama. That's when Mikey kicked Mandy out of his house. 2 days later, there was a for sale sign in front of Mikey's place. He's leaving the neighborhood for good? Wow. I have to admit, I felt a sense of satisfaction. I know my methods were questionable, but I felt like I had no other choice. I had to protect my son and my own future. The best part is, I have not heard from Mandy or Mikey since, and I found out through the grapevine that Mandy's staying with her parents while she finishes her college degree. It seems like everything's finally moving on. As for me, well, I'm just focusing on being the best father that I can be. Just the other day, we were enjoying ice cream cones together in the park, laughing and making silly faces, and it hit me. This is what truly matters in life, the precious moments with your kids. I know I've made some mistakes along the way, and I'm not proud of everything I've done to get here. But I have earned a lot of respect for myself, and I think I'm capable of anything when pushed to the brink. Well, anyways, guys, that's it. You're not going to hear from me again. I'm ready to put this chapter behind me. But I do want to know, do you think I went too far to get what I truly deserved? I had to do something to that dirty cheater Mandy.
I mean, come on, guys. Mandy deserved this. Am I joking? I can't believe, even knowing all this, the neighbor, Mikey, he still let Mandy stay with him, and, well, that made him even more wanting to be in the sights of OP, and OP wasn't going to stop. He was out for blood. It looks like he finally got his revenge at the end of the story, and both of them are out of his life for good. But it does bring me to some of the commenters who were mentioning how OP simply took this too far. OP could have just got out of there unscathed and just forgot about Mandy and her cheating ways and completely blocked out the neighbor, and everything could have been just peachy. That's not what OP did. Sometimes in life you have to decide what battles you're going to fight, right? And this battle, OP knew that he wasn't only going to fight it, he was going to be the captain of war. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. My name's Mr.Reddito, and if you enjoyed this revenge story and you want to see more daily stories, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. This is my revenge channel, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, and of course, remember, it's cool to be kind, because you never know when somebody's going through something like OP did when he has a dirty, cheating wife named Mandy. See ya.